So as you can see over here, I've added some clips onto my timeline over here that I would like to add subtitles to. So the first thing you need to do is to go over to Window over here, move to Workspaces, and select Captions and Graphics. Next, come over and select Text. Make sure you're on the Text panel and make sure you're on the Caption tab over here. Now you'll be greeted with 3 options. So select Transcribe Sequence. Next is going to ask you what language is the transcription in, and I'm going to select English. And next you can also select your audio analysis. So because we have files on audio 1 and audio 2, I'm not trying to transcribe just audio 1 or audio 2. I want to transcribe both the mix, so I'll leave it at mix. And I'm going to select transcribe. So you may need to have internet connection so it can upload the audio data and transcribe it to the best possible match. So here's my transcription over here, and as you can see, if I click on different words over here, you will notice that my playhead will also move on my timeline. Now at this stage, we could go in and double click to fix any misspelling or grammatical errors that happens, but you can also do that later on in your timeline over here once you have created the caption. Next, I'm going to go over to this create caption option over here and select it, but it depends on your version of Premiere Pro. You might see CC instead of create captions. It means the same thing. It simply means create captions. So I'm just going to click create captions, and you're going to have the option to create from sequence transcript or to create from blank track. I'm going to leave it at create from sequence transcript. Then my caption preset, I'm going to leave it as subtitle default. I really haven't tried these other options. Subtitle default seems fine for me. You can go ahead and take a look at them. Then for my format, I'm going to leave it as subtitle. I really haven't tried these other options. You can try them. Then for my style over here, these are styles that I have saved. You can always save styles and just use them on subsequent projects. But for now, I'm going to leave it at none and show you how to create your own style. So you can adjust your maximum length in characters, adjust your duration, and adjust the gap between captions. Now for lines, you have the options to select single lines or double lines. Now the single lines is going to make your text stay on a single line, but the double lines is going to make your text appear in double lines. So I'm going to leave it at double and simply hit create. Now once that is done, you can see that the captions here are on their own dedicated subtitle track. If you do not like it, you can just select the subtitle here, right click, and you can rename that track. You can add another track, you can delete the track, you can view in text panel and other track settings. Another thing you need to notice is that if I click on one of them, it behaves just like a video. I can go ahead and select any one and adjust the duration and reduce the duration. I'm just going to reverse that. And if you double click on any one of them, you can edit it here on your program monitor, or you can edit it over here on your source monitor. So if I double click on any one of them, I can edit it in my essential graphics tab over here by selecting the text here to edit it. Another thing you can do is to zoom in over here by selecting the shift and this icon over here. And here you can adjust it how you want. You can double click to edit it. So basically, this is how to simply add subtitles in Premiere Pro. But let's say you want to move it up and turn it into captions. One thing you can notice is that the text is really hard to read. So we need to add background fill and make a thicker font and move the captions up for social media. I'm going to move to the first caption over here. But before we go ahead to stylize it, there's a little hack that I would like to show you that will help with the design to look like an Instagram style. So select the first caption over here and move over to the essential graphics, and right beside essential graphics, I'm going to select these 3 lines and select text layer preference. Now for my background style, I'm going to set it as per line. Now by default, it's always at all lines, and all lines to me doesn't look nice. What it does is that it merges all your text into one single line, which is not nice. So I'm going to select per line and I'm going to hit OK. And it's important that you actually change this before you stylize the caption, because otherwise you are going to get the all line feel. So after selecting the first graphics, I'm going to move over to essential graphics and I'm going to change the font to my default font, which is Montserrat, and change it to bold. And if you do not like the size, you can come over to this value here of 48 and increase the size to whatever you like. But I'm not trying to increase this, so let me take this back. Next thing I'm going to do is to move this up. We have the horizontal parameter and the vertical parameter over here. So I'm going to move the horizontal parameter up. Another thing that is bothering me here is that the another text here is on a separate line of its own. What I want is for this text to be on 2 layers and not on 3 layers, but I want to make it 2 lines. So I'll adjust the value of this horizontal size icon over here. I'm going to move it up until it changes to 2 lines. And as you can see, it has turned to 2 lines over here. And next I'm going to add a background. So I'm going to come over here and select background. And what this will do is that it's going to create a semi-transparent background around it, like an ash color. So next I'm going to increase the transparency of the background over here to 100 and increase the width over here. Next I'm going to change the fill from white to black. And I'm going to deselect shadows to remove the shadows. And I'm going to change the color of my background from gray to yellow. And if I select this, you can see what we have created so far. Now to save this text style, go over to track style over here and select it and select create new style and give it a name. I'm going to call this iVisual Pro yellow and black and hit OK. Now what this did is that it automatically added this style to all the captions on the timeline. So if I scroll to all the rest of the captions, you are going to see that same caption style on the timeline. But just in case you need to edit any of the captions, you can always select that caption and select it on the project monitor and add your text over here. All you need to do is to double click it, and you can also make those changes in your essential graphics, or you can also double click over here to make those changes. Another thing you need to note is that Premiere Pro has automatically saved that text style for you in your project panel over here. So all you need to do is to right click and you can export that text style as a template to share with your friends or to use it in a subsequent project. And that's it guys on how to add automatic captions and subtitles to your videos in Adobe Premiere Pro. I hope you found this tutorial very useful. If you did, kindly give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you and see you guys in my next video tomorrow.